Do they really hate President Trump? Or do they hate good and want evil? This is common sense. All right, I have an example of CNN, Brian Stelter, coming down on President Trump, but not just President Trump. He's coming down on Fox News, saying, in so many words, Fox News is running the country. That's crazy. Stelter, you're crazy. President Trump is a man that is independent. He can think for himself. Okay? Let's I took some little bits out of something I saw Stelter was doing, which really just it's ridiculous what he did about Fox News and President Trump. Let's take a look at this.
Well, the answer involves President Trump's favorite channel. So let's try to slow down time for a minute. Let's look at the timeline from the past week to really understand what happened here. Because the line where Fox News ends and where Trump begins is getting blurrier by the day.
It's getting blurrier by the day. Where Fox News ends and where President Trump begins. Well, I would say Fox News, being a conservative news media, and President Trump being a conservative president, yeah, I would say that there are similarities between both of them. Yes. So yes. But what is the story here? What really is the story? What are you trying to get to? Let's keep going with this.
An article that created the propulsion for a story about Caravan. Of course, this is the caravan we've seen. Now, lots of news outlets are covering this caravan of Central Americans, some of whom are trying to head to the United States. Last Sunday morning, someone over at Fox & Friends spotted the BuzzFeed story and then ran with it big time. Watch.
An army of migrants marching to America, and a BuzzFeed reporter is in that march with them.
Okay, so here's the kicker. Did you see the time on screen? Let's zoom in on the time. We've highlighted it here. This was around 6:30 in the morning Eastern time. Just 20 minutes later, the president tweeted that the border is getting more dangerous and that caravans, plural, are heading to the U.S. This feedback loop continued for days. It ping-ponged back to Fox. Fox went full steam ahead with border control coverage in primetime on Monday.
Okay, that's playing the idiot. The President of the United States normally is informed of just about everything going on everywhere. He has briefings daily. And in these briefings, he doesn't order tea and cookies, and they talk about what coloring book they like the best. No, they talk about national issues and they talk about global issues. They talk about what's doing what where. And how is it going? What's going on? Do we need to put sanctions on somebody? What's going on? The president knows. He doesn't have to watch Fox News, you moron. You're just trying to push lies. You are a liar. All right? And then they have to bring on the guest. We have a guest, and he's going to say some kind of really stupid stuff. Let's check this guy out.
Celebrate. And as a result, we're all talking about the border, a manufactured crisis. Joining me now to talk about it, Olivia Nuzzi, Washington correspondent for New York Magazine, and political analyst Jeff Greenfield. Jeff, am I wrong about this being what's so wrong about the Trump era?
I think I would add a layer of maybe complexity. Remember that Trump's belief about immigration, Trump's belief about foreigners taking advantage of us and ripping us off and killing our buffalo or whatever he's into. That is at the core of Trump's world set of beliefs.
Killing our buffalo. Really? That's the best you can do? That's how educated on U.S. politics and policies and programs you are? Really? CNN is going to put this guy on there? As a what? A professional what? Clown? It doesn't make sense. And he is trying to say, I live in Trump's brain. I know everything about Donald Trump. I know how he feels about globalism. Global anything. Global. That's the way he sees the world. You don't know jack. I could sit here and say, oh, President Trump, his outlook on things is this. But I won't, because I don't know what Mr. Trump thinks about anything. Except he wants to make America great again. I know that. Tax cuts. He wants to put up a border wall to keep out immigrants from destroying our country. Look at what the immigrants are doing in California. It's hideous. And now we've got some bozo in California that wants to limit speech. Okay. What is hate speech? What is hate speech? Okay, maybe the N-word. Maybe that is hate speech. Or I could use some more words to describe Italians and Far Eastern or Middle Eastern or whoever people. Okay? But if somebody says something to you and it affects your feelings, I think you might need help. Because nobody can tell you anything unless you allow them to. So if I call you an idiot and you believe it, it's not my fault for saying it. It's your fault for believing it. It's your fault for not standing up and saying, even to yourself, wait a second, that's not true. I'm not an idiot. I'm a person. Him saying I'm an idiot, that's kind of stupid. So I would say he's stupid. That's your opinion. Okay? And if you're going to restrict speech, you might as well get a match and burn the Constitution. Okay? And I'm getting a theory here. Because of everything that's going on, I have a theory that there are people, the liberals, Democrats, Hollywood and all that, they think that going back to the old ways, and the old ways is the ways of which the countries were run that the Pilgrims came from. Socialism. Now, if you said something that the king didn't like, you could die for it. If a lord of the land wanted something you had, he could just walk in your house and take it. And there was nothing you could do about it. You couldn't protect yourself from it. There wasn't a court that would listen to the poor and judge for the poor, not if they were being accused by the rich. No. That's not how it works. So back then, you couldn't say anything without being scrutinized or criticized or possibly killed because somebody didn't like it. And that's what they want in this United States by trying to restrict freedom of speech. That's why the Freedom of Speech Amendment was put into the Bill of Rights. because they knew what was going on in the countries that they came from. Kings were killing, lords were taking. And it was a military run government, basically, because if a village didn't want to submit to the king and do whatever he wanted, send in the military, kill them all. That'll teach them. And that is the direction that the liberals, the Democrats, are wanting to go. They want to be able to say, oh, you can't say that. And what's really hurting is the Christian is the one that's getting the brunt of these First Amendment restrictions. When the IRS did the conservative and Tea Party and all that, they were targeting them. Christians were a part of that. Donald Trump is behaving like a Christian. Mike Pence behaves like a Christian. Ben Carson is a Christian. He behaves that way. And I watched some questioning from Democrats toward Dr. Carson that made me sick. And all they were doing was trying to make him look bad. And I think it's because he's a Christian. Because in the Bible there are laws, there are rules. And God gave us those rules and said, man, you live by these rules. And living by these rules shows that you love God and that you love your fellow man. That's what the law of the Bible is. It's love. Being pro-gay is incorrect. That's wrong. That is evil. That is against the way human beings were made. Because that is not love. There is no love in gay or lesbian. It's wrong. It is wrong. And it shows in nature. Nature absolutely makes it abundantly clear being gay is dysfunctional. It's evil. There is not another creature, another anything on this earth that is gay or lesbian or trans or whatever. Nothing. So the people that are against Donald Trump, that are against conservative views, that are against Christian views, they're evil. They are evil. The gay couple that sued the bakery because the baker said, I'm not going to make a cake for a gay couple. They took it to court. And the judge said, well, you either bake them the cake or you lose your business. That judge is evil. I don't care what his title is. He's evil. So it's not that they hate Trump. It's not that they hate Fox News. They hate good. They don't want good. They want evil. They want to burn in hell, which is where they're going to end up. And I'm not sorry, because it is up to the individual human being to make up their own mind. You've heard of God. You know there are churches. You let it pass you by, and you look into God's eyes on Judgment Day, and you haven't accepted, found forgiveness, and repented. You can have all the fun you want on earth. It ain't going to last through eternity, because you're going to burn in hell. because you did it. Not me, not God, not Jesus, not the Holy Spirit. You've heard of God. You know there are churches. Make the decision. All right. That's all I've got for now. Please pray for the president and the leadership of this country, that they will guide this country to prosperity, safety, and security. And please pray for those who have lost loved ones. I'm William Ferguson, and this is Common Sense.